make sure that's working. That's working. Okay, that's working. And that's working. Okay. We're gonna get a short run in because it is currently not raining, but it's supposed to start raining again. So we're gonna get going. I need a haircut. I still have sleep in my eyes. The little crusties. I'm tired, I'm not gonna lie. I was up till pretty late last night. Or I should say a lot later than I wanted to be, and then I woke up in the middle of the night, and then yeah. And then the night before that, I woke up so I decided to give it a day off of running, but then I didn't actually go lift either, and that was what I was gonna do. Yesterday, I played like 9-10 hours of video games, which I did not need to do, but it was raining all day, so I didn't feel like being outside. Oh. Okay, so we're just gonna take it, maybe do anywhere from 3 to 5 miles, seeing how good my leg feels, as well as and actually while I'm running my leg doesn't feel bad at all. It's after I quit that I start to feel it. But supposedly, based upon the radar, it's going to start raining again in about half an hour. We're just going to keep an eye on it, because I do not want to ruin another gimbal by running while it's raining. They are getting expensive, because the one I use, which is the lightest one and easiest for this, is about $60. So $60 a pop. If I keep ruining one, it's not, definitely not within my budget every month. So I did not do so well these last couple days with my diet. So I really need to do better eating. I actually started to that's crazy, crane. I've been getting rid of a lot of my subscription services since I'm only got about 2 months left. Everything, what is that beeping noise? What's up with the crane? I don't know what the crane's beeping about. There's nobody working. That would be really annoying if you lived in these buildings right here. Holy cow. Anyways, I literally, well, that's kind of a cool little electric vehicle that actually has like 4 seats in it, and you can, has like a little thing in the back for you to be able to carry stuff if you needed to. That's kind of cool. Yeah, so gosh dang. Oh wow, freight train has stopped, like on the tracks. I can see the engine right here even. That's crazy. Here, I'll change camera views for you. Sounds like it's getting ready to start again. There we go. There we go. Anyways, I went through and like stopped. I did not realize how much money I was spending. Well, I mean, I knew like one of them was my grocery subscription, which was actually saving me money overall, but because I eat a lot of food. When you burn through as many calories as I do, I eat a lot of food. Now, if I would eat, but I still eat way too much. But my grocery subscription was, I was spending about $60 a week, roughly. Sometimes a little less, sometimes a little more. So that alone right there is like $240 or whatever. And then there was a lot of people on Twitch that I subscribe to, just because a lot of DJs and stuff that I watch, well, now that everything's opening up and they're back doing shows, they're not doing anything on Twitch anymore. So it's like one of mine, I would actually say is a friend, or we used to be friends, I guess, pretty close, more than just an acquaintance, I guess. I would never call it like close friends, but like she hasn't done anything on Twitch for probably 6-7 months because she's back performing live shows again. Yet I still had my subscription going to her every month. So I got rid of like all those because I'm not on Twitch as much. They're not on Twitch as much. And it was, you know, people would ask me why do you subscribe to these people? And it's like, they're just trying to make a living. And I used to go to their shows, so I look at it as I was spending, you know, $100 a weekend to go see these people. I can afford $5 a month. So that's why I was doing it. So I ended all those just because people aren't doing as much. There's still one that I watch that she still does quite a bit on there, so I watch her all the time. But I mean, just that alone was like $30 a month right there I got rid of. And then trying to think, like I went through and looked at my accounts to see everything that was like a monthly subscription, got rid of it. You know, getting rid of like $360 a month that I was paying in subscriptions, counting the grocery one. But I really need to start getting to what I'm going to be at starting in June, because I'm going to be getting a third of the paycheck that I have now. So I need to start, if I can start living within my budget now, that's what I need to do. I need to figure out what I'm going to do with my assessment for my condo back home too, because I have like a 6,060, it's over 6,000, 6,200, 6,300, something like that, assessment that I have to pay. And we had two different options to do it in: either do one payment here in January, or spread it out over the next like 6 months or something like that. Well, I can't afford, like, it would completely wipe out my entire savings right now if I made a lump payment. But right now I could afford $1,000 a month, but after June I'm not gonna be able to afford that. And that was kind of one of the beasts I had with them when I went to the last board meeting, which, not gonna lie, they were a little disappointed when they saw me walk in, knowing that I haven't been there. You know, I live 2,400 miles away, and when I was there, I was always the thorn in their side on talking reason, me and two other individuals. And what do you know, all three of us showed up that night and told us, like, I consider myself lucky because I have, when it comes to the building, I have the smallest place that is done by square footage. So be a lot of plane traffic this morning. Oh, they're taking off from this diagonal runway today too. Anyways, I have like the smallest assessment, and these other two, like one of the guys that showed up, he owns like 5 units in that building, and so I can't even imagine what his assessment would be like. You know, probably 30 grand or something, 40 grand probably. And all of us are like, this is for a project that needs to be done, but it's like, like the earliest it could be done is another year from now, and actually probably be about a year and a half, just because of the, and we don't even know how much it's going to be. So like what they're trying to raise is for a certain amount, and if it's like, so when we were digging into it, me and this other guy, like asking them questions, we're like, why is this assessment so much? Because the last quote you had was $200,000 less 3 years ago. And they're like, well, our best guess is at a minimum it'll be twice as much now 3 years later for a quote. And it's like, so you don't know. And then it was, well, what if it comes off? So you raise this assessment and the quote comes less than what you get total. What are you going to do with that extra money? Well, we'll add extra things onto the quote then. No. Now you're talking about doing stuff that is a luxury. And by the way, this thing that's going to be fixed doesn't even affect me. This is up on like the top 2 floors of the building, which is where all the rich people live. So it's like, so now you're talking about doing luxury stuff for this only going to affect you guys upstairs. It's like, no, that's bullshit. And so we were trying to push them to be like, why don't you guys get an actual quote first and then reach out, tell people what they're going to have for an assessment. Well, but we need to be set because, in their eyes, we need to be able to make sure we have our finances and stuff situated so that we can lock in the contract to get this done with the builder. That may be, but how about you get the quote first? Don't take that long to get a quote. And let people bid on it. Just have it out for bid for 60 days. And this meeting was in November. And if you need to do an assessment, again, the earliest, no matter who you go with, is going to be minimum of a year out. So why not get an assessment and then, or an estimate, and then we could do the assessment. But it's like, talking to these people a lot, it's like talking to a freaking brick wall. And one of them, who lives up on the top floor, she actually even made the comment like, maybe, wow, it's like so humid and warm, even with this rain, that there's actually a little mist on the little fog on the river. That looks pretty cool. So I wish I could get a good picture of that. But anyway, she was talking about, and you got to keep in mind, this is a person that actually bought like 3 apartments up on the top floor and then combined them all into one. And she made the comment, instead of doing it off of square footage, which is what the whole world does, maybe we should just do it by owners. And I'm like, bullshit. I'm like, essentially, then you're taking, I own point 0, essentially I think it's around 1% of the building, essentially is what I would own because of my square footage. And if you do it based upon owners, she didn't even say units, she said owners specifically, because then that will better her, and that would better one of the other guys that's on my side, because he owns probably a third of the building. It's like, so you're going to take my 1%, or actually I guess I'd be 10% probably of the building. That sounds right, 0.1 would be 10%. Essentially, so you're going to take my 10% of ownership and make me pay 20% of this assessment, where you own, say, 20% or 25% of the building, and you only have to pay 20%. Of course, that's what you want. It's like, no, that's bullshit. And that doesn't even make sense. Like, nothing done makes sense like that. And even somebody else brought that up, like, and she even acknowledged that everywhere in the world does it based upon square footage. like your percentage of ownership of the building. But ridiculous. And we already have a pretty high association dues every month, because we had to raise them 2 years ago to help pay for some maintenance stuff on the building. So it's like, pretty soon you're going to have nobody living here because they can't afford to. And that was another point I made, was a lot of people buy here because they don't have a lot of money. And for that area, to own a place there is more economical for them, and it fits within their budget. They can't afford a $10,000 assessment. So it'll be interesting, but I am probably going to sell because I have to pay this assessment just because I'm the owner while this assessment goes. Even if I sold it tomorrow, I can guarantee it would be part of the sale, is that I would pay the assessment, because it was when I bought the place there was a smaller assessment because of some stuff they had to do. But it was only like a $1,500 assessment then. And like my association dues, since I moved in there, has gone up $50 a month. And it's like, on the association dues, like, you compare it to like any of the bigger buildings everywhere, and like what they pay for association dues, they get a lot of benefit out of it. Like, we don't have anything. All our stuff does is essentially pays for us to have a part-time secretary, a maintenance guy that's on call, and and to help like our emergency fund, I guess. And we have had a lot. It's a 100 and some year old building, so we've had stuff the last 2 years that are not normal stuff that we've had to pay for, like these geese sitting in the misty waters look kind of cool. You guys can't really see the mist though. But you know, we had like some emergency pipe repairs that had to be done, and then we had to fix our fire alarm system. For whatever reason, it started shorting out because it was old. Stuff started shorting out, so they had to replace that. That was a huge bill. And then we had to replace a cable to get up to code on our elevator because we have the oldest elevator in Montana. And just that cable alone was like $30,000. But so it have had some huge expenses. But there's like one loan that we have on the building that was nothing but cosmetic, and that's what the assessment was when I moved in, that the old owner had to pay. It was for some cosmetic stuff up on the roof, which also helps with safety and snow and stuff. But it wasn't anything that had to be done. And they're still paying off that loan and everything. And then the commercial floors, we had like a huge thing with those. So they were owned by somebody else, and now we as a condo association own all the commercial floors because the guy that owned them was defaulting on everything. And then we ended up having to pay like essentially, so my last assessment that I had to pay was just so we could keep the power on in the building, because the commercial floor owners, which is 3 floors, the guy that owned all those just decided, one, he wasn't going to make any payments to the bank anymore, wasn't going to make any payments to us as a condo association, and he wasn't going to pay any of the utilities or power. So we had to pay all that. And we're going to go to the 2.5 mile mark before we turn around. We'll do at least 5 today. I can't quite tell what you look up here, you can almost see blue sky. But that's not the direction the rain's coming from. It's coming from over here, where it is pretty dark. So we're just gonna keep an eye on it. So I've already had to pay an assessment being there as well, just to cover that. It's like, I don't know, it's getting frustrating. I love the area, I loved my apartment, but I don't know, I think I'm gonna let the person that is living there ride it out. I don't know how long she plans on being there, but just kind of ride it out and see. But if it I don't know, I might have to look at possibly listing it in August. Problem is, I'm gonna have to do some renovation and remodeling in it before I can sell it, which is gonna cost money. Right now, I don't have that money. Essentially, I'll have to dip into my retirement savings in order to pay for that. And then hope that I can make up for it. So over here, it's not misty at all. It's pretty cool. Let's go the extra little bit. We'll see if we can get a 10K in today. And I'll at least feel better about doing that distance. I am going to lift today too, since I didn't lift yesterday. So that's why I don't want to go incredibly long either. But really wanted to run to the Washington Monument today, but based upon what the radar said and all that, I don't think I'd make it before or at least make it back before it started raining on us. Yeah, you can see blue sky up there. It's just crazy. And that's pretty much a common theme I've noticed since I've been here, which is, I don't know why. I'm guessing it has something to do with the topography, because, I mean, realistically, you get up there on the Pennsylvania border, which is, you know, only, 60 miles away, 70 miles away at the most. And the Appalachian Mountains do kind of make a right-hand turn. So that might be why the clouds always seem to kind of ride here, and then up there it's nice and clear. Unless it's like a nor'easter, then it's the exact opposite. It usually just gets pummeled up there. Down here it's not too bad. And today I'm going to work quite a bit on the van. I'm not going to be able to get the solar panels put on like I wanted to the last couple days, just because it's been raining. But I can do some work on the inside. I had to wait until I got my fan installed in order to finish up the sound deadening and the insulation on my ceiling. Now that I got the fan installed, I can finish that up, and then I can start framing everything. So that I can just start slapping up the shiplap after I get the wiring done. And really, I could probably start doing some of the shiplap now. Or, well, not now, not until I get the framing done, but I mean, before I get all the wiring done. I can start it, because I can still run wires as long as I don't close off the entire thing. And then that will free up a lot of the space on my okay, this is right at the 6 mile mark. It is a pretty cool view from right here, because you got the Washington Monument there, the Lincoln right there. You can kind of see the US Capitol poking up above right there, but look how misty it is, kind of on the river and everything. That's pretty cool. You can't even see the traffic over on the other side. It's kind of crazy, just because there's a little bit of fog and stuff. Okay, well, we're gonna turn around and go back. Try not to pass these people. Maybe I'll wait just a second. Still don't know what the heck is going on with my calf muscle, on why it's being all crazy. My balls say they're tired. Look at that. I got bags under my eyes. Oh, you see the wrinkles? I'm feeling so much older in the last year. I think a lot of it is just the stress of my job and all that kind of stuff. But okay, we're gonna head back. We're at 3 miles, 29 minutes. No, yeah, 29 minutes. So we're gonna head back and get going on our day. I think I've given these people enough head start that I shouldn't have to worry about passing them. And I can just slow it down too. Oh. People honking at people. I don't get it. Like, what the hell are people doing? A little bit of a break in the clouds right here, but that's just right. That's already past us. What I'm worried about is over here. And when you look at the like I said, I looked at the radar. You could see it coming in. So this should hit here probably another 15 minutes. So we're gonna have to move because we don't want to. I don't want to ruin another gimbal. Definitely need to start. Ooh, yeah, I can tell it's starting to. The weather's changing because it just got. Because this mist coming in here, it is easily. Adjust the feel and the temperature about 5 degrees cooler in the last 100 feet. And there's a little bit of a breeze. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but so there is definitely something moving in. So I figured it out. 23 days left of work. Essentially, my last day of actual work is going to be the 18th of February, and then I'm going to take 2 weeks to move out of my apartment, find a storage place, all that kind of stuff. I haven't decided if I'm actually just going to go back to Montana or not, or if I just want to find a storage place here for a few months, because I do want to come back and visit some people. I have made a couple friends back here that I will be excited to keep in touch with and see, but I have to figure out what I want to do. There's a part of me that's like, just move back to Montana because it'd be way easier to maintain over there. Plus, I could get like a PO box or whatever over there, so that I have an address, forwarding address, which is going to be interesting. I got to figure out how I'm going to do this because I don't plan on spending a lot of time in Montana for at least a couple months. That guy was speeding a lot. I did sign up, me and my dog, for a race. The race I've been talking about doing with her, half marathon, which is back in Montana at the end of February. So, but it was only $40, so if I can't make it, I can't make it. So I was planning on going back there during that time frame and then coming back here. And then I got a week of out processing. And then I'm done. Done. I still got here in 2 weeks, I got one more workshop to do. And then I got my capstone to do. And then I got like 2 things I have to do with the transition center before that week, just to make sure my pay is squared away and good to go and all that. And I think that has to be an in-person. One of those days has to be in person with them. So really, I probably have less than 23 days because I'm not even counting the stuff I have to do at the transition center before I get to that last week. But that is taking into account the extra. I have 8 days that I need to take before now and then as well. Which I can't do this week. And then the next week is my replacement's coming out here for a few days, so I can at least sit down with them. And then, there we go. The messages popping up. And then the week after that would be the ideal week to do it, because it's President's Day, I think, or whatever holiday it is. I get Presidents and Martin Luther King Jr. like screwed up all the time. And so whichever one it is that weekend. But then the 3 days after that is my workshop. And then I can schedule my capstone. But so really the week after that is kind of my only option. But I don't know, I might, if I'm not gonna go like travel somewhere, I might just schedule like 3 days here, or like 3 days that week, 3 days the next week, and 3 days the week after that. Well, no, I can't do this 3 days the week after that because that's when I start my leave, or like my 2 week block. I don't know, I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do. I guess I could do 4 and 4. But whatever happens with my work, I don't think it's really set into them that, because I keep telling them that I start my terminal leave on 12 March, which is true. But I don't think they... Oh, look, what do you know? The stream's back after I turn my signal on and off. Full bars 5G. So it shouldn't be my signal. Whatever. Get super frustrated when that happens. Makes no sense. The only thing that would explain it is if there's a jammer being used. But that doesn't explain how, if I just reset it, it works. But if it's a jammer, it would still jam afterwards. So I don't get what is going on. I don't get it. No rhyme or reason to it anymore. It always seemed like, 9-10 months ago when it was happening a lot, it was like clockwork. As soon as I hit an hour is when it would do it. So it was almost like my cell service would be like, oh, you're good for an hour, now we're gonna restrict you. But that doesn't make any sense, because even if I was restricted, I would still be pushing data. Gosh dang, it like dropped everything. Because it even reset my dashboard. Oh well. That means on Twitch there's gonna be 2 videos probably, even though I didn't in the stream. So the other day, I don't know if you guys noticed on Friday when we were on our run. Oh no, I didn't go running on Friday. Or did I? No, it would have been on Wednesday or Thursday. I don't remember what day. Probably Thursday? I don't know. When we were out here running last. When we were ending, there was a guy with his Boston garb on and a girl on a bike getting ready to leave on a run. But when I looked at them originally, I was like, they kind of look familiar, but I couldn't put it together why. Gosh dang, the planes are extra noisy today. But anyways, I was playing on Facebook later that day, and a couple of my friends from Seattle, they had a post about being out here on the trail and all that kind of stuff, and I was like, oh wow. Instantly recognized them as then I was like, gosh dang it, that was two of my friends that I haven't seen for 2 years, a little over 2 years probably. Well, maybe 2 years ago, I guess, because when I was running cross country last, well, I guess a little over 2. It would have been November, so two years, 2 months ago, was the last time I saw him. And I guess, in my brain, I would have never, when looking at him, thinking that two of my friends from Seattle, and I use the term friends loosely, they're more acquaintances more than anything, but people I used to run with over in Seattle and compete with. Like, she was on my cross country team and he was on the cross country team of one of the rival teams, I guess you could say, even though they weren't a rival team, but cross city battle team. There's so many jets taking off right now. God dang it. And then there's 1, 2, 3 of them, four planes lined up to land. So we might actually have a break because it looks like they're coming in to land. They're on approach. There is tons of planes on the frickin' ramp, or on the taxi, waiting to take off. Holy cow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I can see 7 of them over there on the apron, I guess. But anyways, there's nothing in my brain that would been like thinking that I would have two people from that I used to run with in Seattle over here all the time, or over here for whatever reason going for a run. Otherwise I would have stopped and said hi. But it's kind of one of those days where they did kind of look at me too, like they kind of recognized me. But it's like one of those where you kind of wish you had your SRC gear on, and then they would have been like, oh hey, instantly would have recognized. Funny thing is, I did have a Seattle Marathon shirt on, but I had a coat or an overshirt on top of it, because all my long sleeves are Seattle Marathon shirts. All of a sudden it smells like fast food burger. You know, kind of that oniony, tomatoey out there. There's two more, or one more over here. So you got 1, 2, 3. That one's just coming in. It just landed. All getting ready to take off. And there's more down further too. The ones that are lined up here would be getting ready to head down to the other end of the diagonal runway. There goes one taking off. It was weird because I can see the lights of least 3 more coming in for a landing. They must have it timed like perfectly. So here's one landing right now. And there's 2 more up higher coming in on approach. But they're making the descent down, so they're definitely on approach. So many people out here running after the first of the new year, which I don't want to come off as belittling these people that, you know, first of the year, New Year's resolution, I'm going to work out more. So the gym, gosh dang, you still hear that beeping going on. So the gym, you know, gets a bit extra busy and more people out running. But it only lasts for like a couple weeks. So I'm not belittling those people because at least they're trying to make a change. But sometimes life catches up to you, or they go about it the wrong way and just try and, you know, slug it out and get back into work it out instead of making it fun, making it so you want to work out again. That's the key. And that's why I will easily say this last year, really the last 2 years, have kind of been a struggle for me. Because I kind of, so 3 years ago, I pretty much didn't hit any of my PRs that I was going for. It was just a tough year. But then I also wasn't training as hard, and then I was, because of life and everything, I was putting on some extra pounds and not eating as good, all that kind of stuff. So the last couple years, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of lost the joy of running and all that kind of stuff. But I think that was one thing that 100K that I trained for is it kind of brought back the joy of running for me to actually accomplish my goal. And not only accomplish my goal, but I actually, because my main goal was just to finish that stupid thing. But I beat my time goal that I had set. And not only did I beat my time goal, but I also finished with stuff in the tank. I could have pushed harder. And so that was a good feeling, being able to accomplish that. And it really boosted my joy back into running, and another thing, not jumping right back into a training block afterwards. You know, anymore, pretty much what I've been doing the last 2 months is just recreational running. You know, I haven't been training for anything, which, I mean, I really couldn't because I just haven't had the time, but I think that's helped out a lot. And a big thing for me is if I'm going to be competitive, I have to hit the gym, do some strength training. And I have not done any strength training for 2.5 years. So starting to get back into that again is going to help too, because you do see a lot of improvement to meet your goals if you do that. If you're just out running every day, you'll improve up to a point, but unless you're actually doing strength training, whether that's through body weight exercises or actually using machines or free weight at a gym or bands or whatever, however you do it, you gotta do strength training. Very important. Boy, that would just drive me nuts if I lived in these apartments right here. Listening to that. Because it's not even like a repetitive, it's in, or a, oh, there's a raccoon, everybody. Hi, raccoon. Hi, buddy. That's my first raccoon I've seen here. I kind of wonder if that's what my dog saw the other night, because she saw something. I thought it was a cat because it's pretty dark. But she seemed to be more interested in it than she is with a cat. So that's probably what she saw. I didn't even know we had raccoons around here. Like I said, I haven't seen any in here for however long, and have not, almost 2 years now, and haven't seen one yet. Okay, we're almost done. We will easily be at our 6 miles by the time we get back. I mean, not just to make sure we get it. Got to get our 6 miles. Because we would be 5.96 is what we would have been at. There it is, there's the 6 miles. So we're gonna stop right there. Why is this thing all going all kitty wonkus on us? That's crazy. Still leaning, I don't get that. What the hell? Come on. Trying to fix it. Here we go. That's better. There we go. So we're gonna... Ooh, I'm actually sweating pretty good, because it is in the mid-50s and humid, like 90-some% humidity, darn near 100%. If it was raining, it would be 100%. Of course, now it's going to be leaning the other direction. What is going on with this gimbal? I don't get it. Anyways, guys, we did 6.01 miles because we ran that a little bit extra. Thank you so much for joining me today. It was a nice little run. Good to get out here. And we were able to dodge the rain, which was nice. I'll try and work on the van today and see what else I can get done today. I really wish it would not rain so I could get those solar panels mounted. Because if I get those solar panels done, everything else is internal on that van. I could work on it no matter what the weather. But at a certain point, I can't do anything more until I get the solar panels on, which I'm almost at that point. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for joining me today. And I will see you guys, I don't know if I'll see you tomorrow or not. Definitely see you on Tuesday. But yeah, so we'll see. some girl was just, I wouldn't call it the walk of shame because he was at least dropping her off, but she was definitely in her last night clothes. That was kind of funny. Or like, no, that wasn't an Uber because she was sitting in the front seat and talking to the guy after she got out or whatever. But anyways, guys, if you haven't smashed that follow button, please smash that follow button and feel free to follow me on all my socials, all that kind of stuff. And I will see you guys next time. Maybe, I don't know, maybe I'll do a Fortnite stream tonight. Bye, guys.